If democracy had a drumbeat, Cameroon's right now sounds like a mix of tension, frustration, and fire. From the bustling streets of Douala to the corners of Yaoundé, thousands have taken to the streets, chanting for truth, waving flags, and demanding recognition for what they call the people's victory. It all started when opposition candidate Issa Tchiroma Bakary claimed he, not 92-year-old President Paul Biya, had won the election. That single declaration lit a fuse. Now the country's political thermometer is hitting boiling point. Protests, clashes, casualties, and cries for justice fill the air. So, what's behind this latest eruption in Cameroon's ever-dramatic political theater? Let's break it down into 8 sharp facts, each hitting like the beat of a djembe drum. On Sunday, hundreds of protesters flooded Douala, chanting, "We want truth, not delay," after Issa Tchiroma Bakary claimed victory before the official results were even announced. Young people led the march, peaceful at first, hopeful in spirit, demanding that the government respect the ballot box. They argued the wait for results had dragged too long from October 23rd to 27th, raising suspicion. For them, the delay wasn't just bureaucratic, it was betrayal. Their message was, Cameroon is a democracy, not a drama. But as the chants grew louder, so did the police presence. And when peaceful marches meet riot gear, you already know the next scene won't stay calm for long. The situation in Douala quickly spiraled out of control. Security forces moved in, anti-riot units, water cannons, tear gas, and the sound of boots hitting asphalt. What began as a peaceful demonstration soon turned into chaos as eyewitnesses reported live ammunition fired in the New Bell neighborhood. At least 4 people were confirmed dead, several others wounded, and dozens detained. Authorities claimed it was to restore order, but locals said it looked more like suppression. Across Bamdana, Garoua, and Marua, smaller protests erupted too. Cameroon's youth, tired but defiant, are making one thing clear: silence is no longer an option. But what exactly sparked such confidence in the opposition to claim victory so early? Issa Tchiroma Bakary, a longtime politician with a fiery tongue, didn't wait for official tallies. Backed by his party's own parallel count, he declared himself the legitimate winner. According to him, the people had spoken, and he had the numbers to prove it. But the government's reaction was swift and stern. Officials called the claim irresponsible, warning it could amount to treason. The tension spread like wildfire, and before long, the streets were echoing with chants of "Chiroma President." For supporters, this wasn't arrogance, it was revolution. For the authorities, it was provocation. And as the battle of ballots turned into a battle of beliefs, the whole system came under the microscope. Critics say Cameroon's political system has long been designed for one man's comfort, Paul Biya. After 43 years in power, the president's network stretches deep, from local administrators to the top brass of security forces. The ruling CPDM party controls the levers of government, and the opposition often complains the game is played on a tilted field. Electoral observers flagged late polling openings, limited transparency, and restricted monitors. So, when protests erupted, it wasn't just about 2025's election. It was about 4 decades of accumulated frustration. But in politics, perception is power, and what people believe can shape what happens next.
While the Constitutional Council held the legal authority, the streets became the court of public opinion. Protesters waved handwritten placards reading, "Respect our vote" and "Truth before peace," messages echoing from market stalls to social media timelines. For many Cameroonians, this election symbolized more than leadership. It symbolized legitimacy. Older citizens recalled past protests silenced by force, but this time, the youth refused to retreat. "We're not destroying anything," one protester said on camera. "We just want the truth." And when truth becomes the protest chant, every delay starts to sound like deceit. Authorities hit back with firm messaging. The results, they said, would come at the appointed time through legal channels. But actions spoke louder. Opposition leaders were detained, public gatherings restricted, and social media buzzed with reports of arrests. Officials argued this was necessary to prevent chaos, while critics called it censorship. By the time the government declared Paul Biya the winner, with 53.66% of the vote, the credibility battle had already been lost in the court of public sentiment. For protesters, the official figures were statistics without soul. Still, beyond the numbers, one generation is redefining what Cameroonian politics sounds like. 70% of Cameroonians are under 35. They've known only one president their entire lives. For them, this protest wasn't just about who won. It was about when the system will ever change. Young entrepreneurs, students, and even artists have joined calls for new leadership, new opportunities, and new direction. Their slogans aren't only political, they're personal. Social media has become their battlefield. Tweets, TikToks, and live streams broadcasting real-time resistance. In a society where speaking up was once taboo, this generation is flipping the script, bold, fearless, and loud. And as this youthful chorus grows louder, the world starts asking, what happens next? Cameroon now stands between continuity and confrontation. The opposition demands transparency, the ruling party calls for calm, and the citizens, they're just tired of déjà vu. Analysts warn that if dialogue doesn't open soon, polarization could deepen. Still, there's cautious optimism, the possibility of reform, the resilience of the people, and a growing belief that truth always outlasts suppression. From Douala's burning streets to Yaoundé's cool offices, the message echoes. Cameroon wants accountability, not excuses. And as the dust settles, one question remains. Can the same system that sparked the storm also bring the calm? And there you have it, Cameroon's protests, passion, and politics colliding once again. The people are restless, the youth are rising, and the old guard is holding tight. Will dialogue win, or will defiance define the next chapter? One thing's certain, the world is watching, and Cameroon's heartbeat is louder than ever. This is Global Pulse News, your go-to for bold stories, unfiltered voices, and Africa's unapologetic pulse. Hit subscribe, tap that like, and share your thoughts in the comments because your opinion matters in this conversation. And don't forget to check out our sister channels, Sparking Kids and Rema Fatima, where learning meets laughter and family grows together. Let's grow as one voice, one family, one Africa.